All righty, everyone, welcome. Hi, I'm Richard Carlton, creator of FMTraining.tv. Today is our day 2 wrap-up for the FileMaker Engage / Developer Conference for 2020. It's a virtual conference this year. It was pretty interesting stuff. And so joining me today, once again, is going to be Nick Hunter. Nick, are you there?
I'm here.
So a couple of things for those of you who are participating. I think you'll understand this. I just want to address it. It's what they call Devcon overload. And so the issue with Devcon overload is that you go to Devcon and people are like, oh, I'm overloaded. Listen, the amount of content at this year's Devcon was the all-time thinnest, limited amount of Devcon. There wasn't 12 tracks of stuff going on. There was not, compared to normally, it's a fraction of the material. And so people who have not been there coming to me going, shit, I was totally overloaded. I don't know what to do. It seemed like there was all this stuff. I couldn't keep track of it. That's how Devcon is. When you do it in person, it's even way worse. So I guess if next year is your first real Devcon, this would be like a good warm-up for you, right? Because you're going to go next year and you're going to realize, like, for example, there'll be a 7 o'clock event and there'll be 3 dinner parties, an invite to the partner dinner thing, an invite to the SBA dinner thing, and each of these executives at Claris will be doing different events, like breakfasts. And when you go to breakfast at Devcon, you get 8 invites, and you have to decide. So I'll go to one, I'll send Nick or whoever else to cover another one. I'd send Haley or Christian to cover another one. And then at the end of the day, we all report back if anything important happened that we need to know, because we just can't get there. So that's a real common thing, so the overload. Now, day 1 was kind of fluffy. There was one good session from my perspective. I'm the 30-year grizzled veteran. So what it looks like to a brand new person looks different to me. So I can't provide you the brand new person, except the brand new people were overwhelmed. From my perspective, I was looking for the nuggets that are good. And I had some good revelations along the way. And once again, the rule is to hang out with people smarter than you. So first, tell me about this morning, kind of the new stuff. What did you think? What did you hear? What did you see? What did you think that was good?
I think what pleases me, what I saw, is that we are right on the money with the lean design program that we have. So pretty much all along this engaged sessions, they confirmed all what we were saying, or what we were demonstrating. That means in terms of design, in terms of how to build application. Clay yesterday laid down all what we are saying all day long. John Thatcher the same for the server. How we attack our server, like for example, what Jacob Taylor is doing at RCC. It's exactly what they recommended to do. Lean design is exactly what they recommended to do. So that pretty much say, okay, we are on the right track, and that's good. Is that good?
So Nick felt validated, which is always a good thing. We like it when
yeah,
Nick
I feel definitely. I feel it's a good thing that when you do something since 3 years now, and 3 years later, the mothership is pretty much telling the people do what Nick Hunter and RCC is saying since 3 years. It's great.
Yeah,
I love it. I love it. I feel. Yeah, like you said, it's a great reward for us, for me, for you, for all the effort that we do. Right? It's
sure. All right. So in terms of new things that Claris talked about, once again, I don't think they can claim it's under non-disclosure at all. Basically, they announced that they're attempting to build FileMaker Go for Android. I don't know what that really means because you have to. It's easy to assume. That it'll do things that you think it should do. Like, we're going to build FileMaker Go for Android, therefore it does everything that Go for iOS does. And they even said, oh yeah, it'll have online, offline sync and all that sort of stuff. Well, Claris uses the word sync very loosely. I would rather wish they would never use it, because their idea of synchronization is that if you are on a device or a computer connected to the internet, connected to a shared application, and you put data in, that data will be synchronized with other people. The data is shared in real time with other people, but there's no offline sync. I think the correct term would be offline sync. So they threw the sync word in there sideways. I'm going to pull the video on this and play it back very slowly. But they were in a big hurry to run through that. They didn't even show it, Nick. They almost ran through it at 900 miles an hour. So the additional parts of this that were interesting is that talking about additional integration of services with Connect and things like that. And I was trying to wrap my head around it. FileMaker has this technology called NG or NG for next generation of FileMaker. But really, when you look at it, it's not FileMaker, because when Claris talks about the word FileMaker, they mean the database engine is what they mean. And really, they have like 3 or 4 different components now. They have Claris Connect, which is not FileMaker. It can talk to FileMaker, but it's not FileMaker. Then they have some upcoming services and things like that. And they have this business process management thing they're trying to work on and roll out. And I sat there and I was talking. I call up Jesse Barnum, and he, Jesse likes me because we promote the hell out of his products, and deservedly so. But I said, hey, help fill me in on what Claris is doing. And he started to frame the conversation for me. So I'm going to be bringing this knowledge to you. That basically, it would seem that Claris is working on creating some really interesting front end wrappers for some of the Amazon services that are out there. Now that makes sense, because Amazon services really at the end of the day are kind of like this command line service. It's not really, there's no real user interface to it. And so, but Amazon's got a ton of services. They're not Microsoft, they're not Salesforce, they're not Oracle, they don't necessarily compete per se. The idea is that there's this service, and I'm going to work with Jesse to kind of start talking about this, but it's basically called Steps. And the idea with Step Service is that you can send code to Amazon and it can run a process for you, but you can actually establish business steps, business workflow with Amazon. And at different stages, different things happen. And the Amazon, if you don't allow something to move forward, it can hold in that position, right? It's almost like a to-do tracking list in FileMaker, where it's stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage 4. And the reality is that if you pause it, it doesn't lose its mind. Like if you cause FileMaker to run some code, it's going to want to run the code, do it immediately, and then run off and terminate. And same with Claris Connect. It doesn't really go into a holding pattern. This Steps technology from AWS, for some of you, NJ, maybe you're familiar with this, but the idea is that you can execute it and it can actually pause for up to a year. So the idea is that it's pausable, scripted processes that makes sense. So that's what Jesse was talking about. I think that's where Claris is going with this. We would assume that they wouldn't try to invent this stuff from scratch, that they would build something on top of Amazon, which would make much more sense. And then they already have a relationship with Amazon. So that makes a lot of sense. So they're starting to talk about things like that. Obviously, some other nice things to have, the ability, for example, with some of the API stuff, to drag on a form onto your layout and have FileMaker automatically create the form. And then they basically talked and showed, for those of you who remember Bento, they basically, if you could imagine a web version of Bento, but there is a upgrade path from that into FileMaker Pro very seamlessly. So you could go to a drag and drop interface, throw some fields on a layout, and it works. But if you want to do anything more sophisticated, I can drag a calendar on there. But what if you want the calendar to only show you things on Tuesdays and Thursdays? Suddenly you're outside the realm of what you can do with Bento. You have to get into scripting, and that's where you would bring FileMaker in. So it's kind of the web Bento front end. They call it, Nick, what do they call that? They called it the quick app or quick start or quick...
quick authoring.
Quick authoring. So there's some neat stuff that they have going on. I think that the innovation, I think there's going to be a little bit of a lack of innovation over the next year, because this they said, oh yeah, we're going to have the first versions. It was really funny. They said, we're going to start giving you the next gen stuff early next year, right? But that means that you will get a preview release of it, a very early sketchy version of it, right? So once again, before it's production ready, like really, really ready, that could be another year after that. So I've been thinking that mostly their next gen stuff was 2023, along those timelines. I think that's still accurate. I think they're going to show some of this stuff earlier, but in terms of you like building a process on top of it, it'll be a while down the road. Quick authoring, yeah. So that's going to be like Bento for web-based Bento, right? I think it's great, because they want to use that to bring new people on the platform.
Yeah, also what they don't want, that is something like that. Rick Kalman pushed for that because they didn't want Airtable to come even near what FileMaker was doing.
Yeah.
Their entry level, low code kind of what's the name? Customer solution.
Yeah.
They didn't want Airtable to. They wanted to, stop the airflow to Airtable. That's it.
Stop the airflow to Airtable. There you go.
Yeah,
Okay, that I understood. Scott Kane is looking forward to Android, so they're going to Android, right? So Nick, you're going to have to go buy an Android. You're probably be like the Wicked Witch of the West when they pour water on the Wicked Witch and she melts. That'll be you buying an Android device. I had to buy 2 Android tablets to shoot the WebDirect course. Can I give everyone a tip since Android's going to be a thing now? Don't buy the devices. And I'm talking about when you go to Walmart and you say, "Hey, would you like a Samsung that's $299 or $399, or would you like the On Acer blah 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 $99 one?" You buy the $99 one, you get what you pay for on that. The performance is just hideous on these things, and so maybe Android just sucks. But I got a feeling that if I had a new Samsung, it would be snappier and happier, so that would be good. It'll be interesting to see what happens. I would imagine they would have the insert from device script step on that. They would support the camera and probably signature capture on it. I don't know if they would support GPS and all the other sensor stuff. The sensors in the iOS devices are pretty advanced, right? Like aviation grade sensors. I mean, there's some advanced stuff.
But if they don't, they miss the point. I mean.
Well, I understand, Nick, but I'm telling you right now that Robert did say that it'll support he said the word most of the things that are in Go, which means that some of those sensor items are not going to be, just because, listen, if there's not a sensor, like if you buy an On device, an On tablet, and it doesn't have some of that stuff, then, what are you going to do? But so Claris said later this year, you're going to have the web viewers on Windows will be using the new Chromium or Edgeium or whatever the hell it's going to use, not IE11. So it sounds like probably not 19.1, which will be out probably the next month, but probably 19.2.
It could make sense. It could make sense they use Chromium because it's the same WebKit's core foundation for Mac, iOS, and Android.
Yeah, it'd be really good if they did that.
Would be make sense to me. I mean,
So one Brotherman said, "I liked the Todd guy's presentation on JavaScript add-ons yesterday." Yeah, there was several videos. Todd's been beating on this. That was a repeat message for him for the most part. He's had other JavaScript presentations. I definitely recommend checking him out, understanding what's going on. Pivoting on to JavaScript. So one of the biggest things people are like, "Oh, I got to learn JavaScript. I got to learn JavaScript." I think the need to learn JavaScript, maybe not. Are you a programmer? Do you love to code? If you do, then maybe learn JavaScript. It's another programming language. Is it required? No, not really, because you're going to be able to take advantage of these other add-ons from other JavaScript people without knowing anything about it, right? So, Nick, yeah?
Yeah. I love the session where Klaus
Levin,
from
yes.
Germany.
Klaus Levin.
Yeah. Because about JavaScript. No, you don't need to be a JavaScript guru to use FileMaker. No, don't worry about this. You might need to understand the fundamentals, but that's easy because we have plenty of videos. You confirm, Richard? We have videos on this. We have course on this, right?
On which topic is that? I was
on the fundamental of JavaScript and stuff like that.
Well, not how to program it. We don't do that at all.
No, I mean, understanding JavaScript, not programming. Just know what it is. Anyway, so you have plenty of stuff on that.
We drag and drop the stuff on, and how we interact, and how you send data to it and get back. Yeah, but in terms of the syntax, : // // // //
Yeah, no, I mean, you don't. Yeah, but most of the time you don't need to learn this to understand what's going on. You can change the color. You can change. You cherry pick stuff that you recognize, and then little by little you understand what's going on. You don't need to understand the code, and that's what Klaus was saying. He says, yes, I know JavaScript, but I don't like doing JavaScript, and I don't want to do JavaScript. Like me, and he said exactly what I was feeling. I don't want to stay on front of my computer for 5 weeks and do JavaScript like crazy. I want to focus on my customer needs. So that's why the add-ons is great for that, because you don't need to understand JavaScript anymore. And I'm pretty sure that people like Todd Guys and all the people, JavaScript gurus and stuff like that, they will come up with nice stuff. But you don't need to learn and know JavaScript like a champ to use FileMaker, or as you don't know to learn SAS and or all those APIs like a champ to use them. It's you don't need. No. That's a good news. That's a good news. And Claris Connect, I hope that Claris Connect will be like a successful, because it has the potential to be successful. So
yeah, it's you're going to get as far. Listen, it's up to the developer of the add-on or the JavaScript to build it so that you have the easy adjustments in there to adjust the charts. It'll be up to that JavaScript person to do it. But most of the people here, we're business people. Ken does balloons and stuff. He's an aviation guy. I'm an aviation guy and other stuff. Nick is we all have these other jobs that we do, right? Nick is a professional pinball repair guy, professional piano repair guy. You have all sorts of skills that Nick has. And so some of us, we want to do other stuff besides just code all day, right? So,
yeah.
So the idea is that we want to cherry pick, as Nick, you said the word cherry pick, the best features and drag and drop them. And so that's why this stuff is all going. And so not only be able to drag and drop add-ons into FileMaker directly, you can drag and drop them into your quick authoring application, which is Bento on the web. And so when you build that application, I think you're actually still building a FileMaker app. I believe that to be the case. They put a wrapper around it, but it is an FMP12 file you're building. And then and it gets put up on cloud too, right? That's part of it, right? All this is coming up. Like, how does it fit? Well, you come to cloud 2. Oh, I'd like to try it out. Oh, we're going to drop you into the Bento authoring, quick authoring. Oh, drag and drop. This is great. Here's my credit card. Post it on the server. That's where this goes. And then that allows brand new people to come to the platform. And as soon as they get stuck, they can go into Pro, which is more professional development environment. So that is the cool part. They didn't actually... I don't think they articulated it completely like that, did they? I don't think they ever did that, which is kind of too bad. Because if you articulate it end to end, we understand it. Yeah, so I think that kind of wraps it for Devcon this year. If you want to go next year, it is going to be in San Diego. I did a September 14th, 15th, and 16th next year. So yeah, Bob says Devcon's a multifaceted marketing campaign, and I like it. Yeah, I mean, it's I mean, I get worn out by some of the stuff that goes on, but I'm looking for the nuggets. I think Oregon Dean said this really well. You're looking for the nuggets that you need to help, and there were nuggets here with this. And I think in person, a lot of people like the social aspects of it. I'm already socialed out during the day. I have no socialness left, so I maxed my social out just by running the company and talking to everyone here. Yeah. All right, thanks everyone. Appreciate it.
Bye.
Just stepped up the whole way. Calm, cool, collected the quarterback. Great read. good patience. More importantly, great job up front protecting this quarterback to give you a chance. And that's all you can ask for.
Try to rally down 10. 9:25 to go here in the fourth. Short motion by Amendola from the left. Brady takes the shotgun snap. Stands in, throws it left for Amendola. Reaches up and snacks a high throw and lands inside the 10. Rolling to the 9. Ball slightly behind him, but Danny makes the grab.